question left, the last question. What are your hopes for the future of EMDR?
We see globally so much violence going on throughout the world, areas of genocidal violence. And what we see so often is that trauma and violence, of course, has a negative impact, not only on the culture, on the family, on the individual. Trauma would cause a woman, more often than not, to react with depression and anxiety, while the research also shows that for males, the reaction is one of anger. And with all of the political reasons for turf wars and for all of the political reasons that go and that need to go on, and the inequities of wealth which we have to deal with as a world, there's also looking at what can we do for those individuals in pain, whether because of natural disasters or man-made disasters such as war, to alleviate the suffering, so that instead of the continual reaction of anger, rather than the continual stories of seeing oneself in the pictures of all of the earlier wounds and all of the earlier stories of demeaning behaviors or humiliations that have occurred that keep separating people, to allow the processing of these memories so that people can perhaps begin to see the common denominators between them, that they're not automatically responding in pain and violence, but are able to get to that shared sense of humanity. To be able to allow us to get beyond and below the political intrigue that continues all of this, and again go to the grassroots, where EMDR originally started. To have enough clinicians worldwide in every country who are working with their own populations to alleviate this suffering, and to have these clinicians worldwide to understand that they are bonded together by a desire to alleviate suffering, and are using a tool that allows each to be willing to confer with another, and the HAP organizations to know that if one country is in need, other countries are going to come to their aid, to be able to bring the world together in that way. That's the hope, to be able to allow EMDR there worldwide where it's needed, and perhaps to make some inroads in bringing peace together.
Thank you very much for this interview.
You're welcome.
And I would like to tell a story from my part, reacting to what you told us about your hope for the future. I had the honor of being in a EMDR training in the Gaza area, and we were working with the participants, and there was this one young male Palestinian clinician, and he did work with EMDR on his own issues. A cousin of his was killed, and he worked on that. And afterwards, he told us that in the weeks before, he many times thought that he wanted to be a suicide bomber, to do something with his anger and his need for revenge. After the EMDR, he said, I now have discovered there's better ways to help my people, to help my Palestinian people, by being a good therapist. And that touched our heart.
Very nice.